The Metro North Mechanical Department performed a proper brake test prior to the accident train leaving the station, and there were no anomalies noted. The results from the alcohol breath tests were all negative. The results of the other tests are still pending.
New York's MTA getting ready to institute safety changes. We'll have more on the latest aftermath of Sunday's deadly crash. That and more right here, right now on the News Hub. Good morning and welcome. I'm Simon Constable, and with more on this and what Metro North commuters might expect, we got Wall Street Journal's Ted Mann, who has been covering this like white on rice. It's all over it. It's still rocking the whole area. People are really really brings home the fact that, you know, we really rely on commuting and we want it to be safe. What are the safety changes they're considering?
The MTA is looking at areas of the track, both on Metro North and also the Long Island Railroad, where there are what they call civil restrictions. That is, a condition like the curve in Spuyten Duyvil where this crash happened, where it's a sharp curve or there's a need to slow down. They're seeing if they can put additional measures in the signal system that would, cut power to a train that is going too fast, or even just adding different gradations of speed, reducing them as you approach something dangerous.
And we have a map here of which you and I have been looking at, and on the left there, that's the Spuyten Duyvil turn, which we can see, which is pretty sharp, right? And the other one is what?
This is what's known as Jenkins Curve. That's what the engineers call it in Bridgeport, Connecticut. That's on the New Haven line of Metro North. It's a similar curve, just like Spuyten Duyvil. The speed drops from 70 miles an hour to 30. It's virtually a 90-degree angle. It's also the site of a very bad fatal derailment in the 1950s under a predecessor railroad. So it's another area where engineers are, know to be very, very cautious.
And with good reason too. Now, one of the things they're also talking about is automation. Tell us about that, because automating things sounds great, but it has some downsides, doesn't it?
Certainly. The MTA is committed, as are all commuter railroads, to meet a federal requirement that they install something called positive train control, which would essentially be a computerized system that would slow or stop trains as they risked running into each other or risked doing what seems to have happened here, speeding and going off a curve.
Or in this case, going fast and then not slowing down in time, which is I guess we've all done that in a car occasionally, but it hasn't led to disasters.
Exactly, it's an overspeed derailment, and that's exactly what those systems say they can prevent. In the meantime, the MTA is considering intermediate steps with the existing signal system it has, essentially safeguards. So if someone really screwed up, like this driver might have, you would run through a signal that would hit the emergency brakes. The resistance, such as it is, to simply putting up those measures everywhere is that the train system is going to rely for a long period of time, regardless of the improvements, on human intelligence, on drivers who understand the territory and are familiar with it.
And that is great, because drivers have a lot of experience, but occasionally they're human and they make mistakes. We all do. We've got to expect that. Now, the National Travel Safety Board is still investigating this, and they haven't come down to it was XYZ, XYZ, whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. What they said last night is they're leaning toward operator error, and those are the indications we've had including from the engineers union last night. But they have not made a final determination of the cause. It certainly appears to be a derailment caused by excessive speed in a curve, but they're not yet saying this is why he was speeding.
Okay, and I know that as soon as they do, you will run back to the set to tell us all about it. Thank you very much, Ted Mann. More on that on WSJ.com.